What's up guys, Chris VA Travels, and today I'm doing a walk around of Ashland, small town here about 20 miles north of Richmond, nicknamed the center of the universe. So yeah, we'll check this place out. I grabbed this map a while back from the History Museum. 25 stops on here. I'm not sure that I'll hit them all, but it starts at the train station, so I'll head over there, and it looks like we'll be walking through Randolph-Macon. Ashland was actually the winner of a poll I had put up on my Patreon. And I listed several little towns in Virginia, and this was the winner. Oh, first thing, yeah, we're coming up to Secretariat. And obviously a Triple Crown winner. Actually born right across the border in Caroline County. I believe they've got a write-up on them. Horse number 2. Nice little garden over here. Oh yeah, here's the write-up right here. Born March 30th in 1970. Yeah, at the Meadow in Caroline County. Stable was founded in 1936. 1973 Triple Crown winner. And Horse of the Year, 1972 till 1973.
Is on board Amtrak trains.
As you hear, it's an active train station, and they've got a camera up there, an eye in the sky. I don't know if you can see it, but it live streams on YouTube. Oh, and the visitor center's over there as well. But right across the way, this isn't on the map, but you'll see the old Hanover Bank. On top it says 1919. Pretty nice building. And this 100 block burned down in 1893. There was a big fire, blew through Ashland. But yeah, all right, let me walk over to the train station. And this line, it's off the RF&P, Richmond, Fredericksburg, Potomac rail line. The second oldest train station in the South. I thought it was the oldest, but there was a short one down in Charleston, South Carolina that was built just a year or two prior. Look at the clock real quick. Yeah, incorporated into a town, 1858. And name Ashland comes from Henry Clay's estate in Lexington, Kentucky. So the clock was dedicated on the 150th birthday of Ashland. Very cool. One of the love signs here. Let me look at the plaque real quick. So it looks like Ashland was kind of just a little vacation stop on the rail line originally called Slash Cottage. There was a mineral spring here and a racetrack. All right, some information on the Civil War. And it looks like Grant's army passed through Ashland during the Overland Campaign as they bypassed the Confederates after the Battle of North Anna. I will tell you that Stonewall Jackson's train car passed here, his funeral car, after he died up there at Guinea Station on its way to Richmond. And he also stayed here 1862 at 713th South Center Street at the McMurdo House. There you go. And you hear the train coming. Train station was built in 1923, and there's that eye in the sky right there. By well-known architect W. Duncan Lee. Kind of a famous architect. Built a lot of nice houses down off Franklin Street in Richmond. And it says 2 original benches are on display. Doesn't look like it would be these, I wouldn't think. But the 3rd is at the Smithsonian. Kind of neat. And here we go. Oh, Family Dental Group. There's a bed and breakfast back there I'm going to take a look at in a moment, but Just wanted to show off the other side of the train station. Yeah, okay, I see a train coming way down there. So this is the Henry Clay Inn. Oh, all right, I see the sign up there. Built in 1992. And I hear that train coming. Let me walk over. Here it is. Took a minute for that thing to pass. But yeah, it's supposed to be a replica of the 1906 original that had burned down in 1946 during another big fire. But looks like a pretty nice place. Serve brunch, lunch, and dinner. And this is Berkeley Town. It's just a few blocks north of here, developed in 1894, and it was a thriving black community of homes and businesses. Going over the porters, who were mostly African American, helped develop the black middle class, and Pullman was the largest employer of black workers with 20,000 on staff by the 1920s. Chief Justice Thurgood Marshall, he was the son of a Pullman. In case you wanted to see the back of the train station, some pretty big slate tiles on that thing. See the center chimney? Yeah, looks like a cool place to hang out. All right, on to the next building. Since I'm on this side of town, I'm gonna walk through Randolph-Macon. And first there's a historic home up here to the left. Okay, so nice house right here. This is a classic revival home that was built just after 1900. And okay, 4 chimneys, a little hipped roof on it. Built just after 1900, and it was once the home to Lewis Shirt Blanton Jr. And in 1955, Shirt was shot in an attempted robbery. Wow, that left him a paraplegic. And from his wheelchair, he became a familiar figure. He would wave to railcar passengers and notify the RF&P of potential mechanical problems. And as a result, the RF&P wired his home with buzzers, alerting him of approaching trains. Wow, and on holidays, the crews, they would stop to leave gifts. Interesting story, okay. And really old gate right here. Okay, so he just crossed over the railroad tracks. Going to walk through the campus of Randolph-Macon. And you want to take a look at the famous Washington and Franklin Hall right here. And Randolph-Macon, it was founded in 1830 down in VIRGINA, but moved here to Ashland, 1868. And it's named after Virginia statesman John Randolph and North Carolina statesman Nathaniel Macon. Oldest building on campus. Cool arched windows on it. Built back in 1872. And it's in the Second Empire an Italianate architectural style. And up here it's described as a bonnet gable. And yeah, you can just tell that's old, the lettering. Hip to roof, again those slate tiles, more modillions and dentils, tall arched windows. Okay, so on to the old chapel. Oh, well, first shout out to Dr. Alphine Jefferson, who spent 2005 to 2022 as an educator, historian, and town grown ambassador. Big willow right here. So some rub brick on that arched entrance, Duncan Memorial. Yeah, it says erected 1879. Yeah, so just a few years after the Washington Franklin building. More of the slate tiles up there. And oh, some of these lancet windows, stained glass windows on each side. So the student chapel was on the first floor, and the Duncan Memorial Methodist Church was on the second. Let me see what this says. Porter Hardy III, class of 65. And oh, so he died young, okay, 43 years old. A memorial from his parents. Oh, all right, so they light this thing up. And another stained glass window. Too bad, I guess not much light gets to it, but I don't know how well you can see it. I'll tell you that currently the drama, music, and art history department are located here. I just want to take a closer look at the door and these old homemade hinges. The whole complex, Virginia Historic Landmark. Belt of headers going across right there. More rub brick on that arch. And it looks like we used to have a window right there. Insects are out in full force. Oh yeah, nice stained glass windows over here. And used to be a bunch of windows on it. Gothic arches. Some people call them Victorian arches. I have a viewer named Carol who is married here. Shout out. And silver maple right here. I believe this is going to be Pace Hall or Pace Armistead Hall. Boy, a lot of smaller windows on this thing. With the lintels in a brick in a soldier pattern. Sandstone keystones right in the middle. Let me see if there's a sign on it up here. Again, a ton of windows. Really wanted to get that light in there. I'm hoping this is the correct building. No, I don't see anything written right there. Again, fancy capitals on these columns right here. Let me, maybe this says something right here. Well, this says Thomas Branch. And right across the way, the Center for the Performing Arts. Yeah, that's got to be the building. So, and that's the last of the historic buildings, at least on this walking tour map on the campus. But let me see what this is. Lloyd Newton Terrell, 1942. Okay. Randolph-Macon alumni. Yeah, this gets lit up as well. Allison Gray, going back to 1858. Wow, Anthony Crenshaw. Really big building though. Let me just see if there are any old, yeah, George Jones, 1844. So this is the Brock Commons. I just saw the building over here. I wanted to take a closer look. Kind of a little eyebrow dormer window right there. And cool looking tower. Oh, ha. And they've got the, I don't know, is it the Hornet? Whatever their mascot is up there on the weather vane. What is Randolph-Macon College's mascot? It is the Yellow Jacket. The old gym sat here, built back in 1887. Couple golden lions out front, but I just saw this Queen Anne over here. Just want to take a closer look at it. Oh, this caught my eye. Old smokestack. It was a part of some old. It looks like they've turned it into a cell phone tower. But yeah, part of some old factory, I guess. I don't know what, but. Okay, yeah, so I'm headed back into town. I haven't seen an Amtrak train come by, so I imagine there's one due soon. We've got to cross back over 54, which is England Street. Hey, Secretary again. All right, so we're right off Railroad Avenue. Old grocery store right here. Established back in 1912, owned by the Cross family, and they would deliver groceries. Whew, that was a long one. Okay, all right, so trying to show off this Italianate building, built back in the 1880s. Back before Prohibition, it was Delarue's Saloon and Grocery. Yeah, so you can get your alcohol in here. Cool red brackets underneath the overhang. And currently, tattoo shop. Building across the way here, the Iron Horse. Original building burned in that Great Fire of 1893. And that establishment was owned by the Cox family. And I think they owned 3 properties in the area. But all these buildings were built after that big fire, built between 1894 and 1913. So we've got a statue over here. And this is the public library. It's the Richard Gillis Jr. Public Library. Get a closer look at this globe. Hi. Pretty cool. All right. Oh, check out this mural. Oh, and that's the Caboose Market Cafe. Pretty nice painting. Some apartments over here. This was the old movie theater right here. A newer theater was built on England Street in 1948, and this became the African American movie theater. I see a treadmill in there, so I don't know if that's some sort of gym. Yeah, a couple exercise bikes right there. Okay. Well, yeah, here's the side of the theater, and it looks like maybe they just had one screen in there, it looks like. So if these rails could talk, oh, the stories they would tell. Okay. Inside of U.S. car number 1, Ferdinand Magellan. Pretty nice. Lady Bird Johnson, 1964. Looks like Hampton Roads supplied the Midwest. Huge terminal out there. No information on this building, but we've got the Marlboro Man right here. Oh, nice yard right here. Play some chess. Little fountain over here. It says chirp. Yeah, you can hear the chimes. Oh, so they open at 10 o'clock, which is pretty soon. And across the way, we've got the Hanover Arts and Activities Center. It's nice they have these little platforms to help you cross over the tracks, but apparently, building back here used to be the Ashland Baptist Church, built in 1859. Oh, so yeah, here's what's left of it. The old Ashland Baptist Church. Used to be a bell tower on it that housed a steam locomotive bell that was donated by the RFMP. Had to be sold off during the Great Depression though. Also a Confederate hospital during the Civil War. And they had to install a new first floor because there were so many blood stains. Yowzer. But a big old pediment on it. I guess you get used to the trains going by living here. Actually, I can hear the train where I live a little bit. Interesting story on this house. In the 1990s, it was used in the movie Major Payne, starring one of the Wayans brothers. And it was painted to look as if it was heavily damaged and abandoned. And some of the neighbors thought it had caught on fire. Oh, and funny story, I heard about Ashland when I was online. Apparently a raccoon broke into the ABC store here just last year and passed out drunk. And apparently it made international news. Interesting sighting on this house. Very patriotic house right across the street behind this oak. cool mansard roof. I'm willing to bet built late 1800s, early 1900s. Oh, and another patriotic, bright yellow house over here. Another mansard roof, built about the same time, I would assume. And this one's got slate tiles on the top on the front there. Oh, and speaking of this yellow house, Edgar Allan Poe's girlfriend lived here. His muse. Supposedly it was his lost Lenore. And it's Sarah Elmira Royster Shelton. And I believe she's buried down at the Shaco Hill Cemetery. Yeah, I remember seeing her grave. But yeah, his girlfriend when he was a teenager, but when he went off to UVA, parents didn't approve of Edgar. Her father was hiding letters that he was sending back to Sarah. And then they rekindled their relationship later in life, just before he died. Behind all these trees is a Greek revival house, a couple internal chimneys, but it's the McMurdo house. I don't know if you can see, 1858. And this is where Stonewall Jackson stayed before the 7 Days battle. Maybe if I walk across the tracks, I don't know, maybe I can see it better. I was enjoying that shade though. Well, can't really see it any better from over here. But it was owned by C.W. McMurdo, treasurer for the RF&P. He and his daughter used to hold balls here. And that racetrack that was here before the town existed was right in this area. And during the Civil War, it became Camp Ashland, and it's where Confederate troops trained. So this was a hopping little spot at one time. You could tell this building was something back in the day. Kind of a bay on the corner there. But, oh yeah. A very patriotic town. Nice house across the street. But yeah, so now we're on Racecourse Street. And yeah, this is where the race course was. Doesn't say exactly where, but it was built back in 1850. And it was built here by Edwin Robinson, president of the RF&P. It housed a jockey's club, a gambling saloon, a grandstand. Oh, there's a cardinal right there, just whipped across. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so take a right here, knock out a few more. Very distinct house right here with a cool little wood carving right here. But yeah, purple house. And Queen Anne, going back to 1886, they describe that as an onion top turret. You'll see wraparound porch. Little story to go with the home. Lila Isaacs lived here. She was courted by John Skelton Williams. They married and boarded a train that stopped in front of the house, and it carried them up to Washington, D.C. for their honeymoon. Let's take a quick look at the side of it. Widow's walk on top. Another patriotic home. I've got the train on the gate. Again, lots of American flags. They do it right here in Ashland. Oh, okay. House is called Telcourt, built back in 1902, and it's been moved. It originally sat at the intersection of Route 1 and 54, and to move it, they removed the third floor and moved it in two segments. Crazy. All right, so But yeah, you'd never guess, fits right in with the neighborhood. Nice looking house. Yeah, built back in the 1850s, vernacular style farmhouse. It says in the 1870s, Italianate features were added. A cool bay window right there, cool brackets. Italianate features were added to the north side. Got a big spruce right here. These aren't native to the area, but I was trying to get a better look maybe at the side. But Mr. Stebbins lived here. Designed the addition with a higher first floor ceiling to provide better acoustics for his daughter's lovely singing voice. And I like the little stories they add to each of the homes. All right, so definitely getting my steps in. And it says a couple blocks back, old African-American church, the Shiloh Baptist Church off South James Street. And then it says there are a bunch of older buildings to look at, so, oh yeah. Remnants of a couple different gates, it looks like. They're in a couple different styles. But little sunroom on the back, outbuilding. Steep gable on that. And the sign up front says this was established 1949. So the Flippo house, I guess it's a little bit historic. But yeah, everything has those slate tiles, more slate tiles here. House to the right. And most of the slate comes out of Buckingham County, right in the center of the state. Walk around, this guy's doing yard work, it looks like. Smell the grass, the fresh cut grass. I've been to Ashland several times, but I've never been back here. Yeah, I see a Victorian in front of me. All right, so we're now in South James. Yeah, there's a big old Victorian right there. And yeah, I'll just see what I see from here until I get to that church, and then yeah, probably split out of here. Yeah, intersection of Hanover and James. It's starting to get kind of hot out. I don't have any water. Apparently there's a school behind me, but okay, here's the sign for it. Yeah, all right, so Shiloh Baptist Church. Several stained glass windows. Obviously an add-on back there. Maybe they had Sunday school back there. All right, so let me be quick. This is kind of a busy road, but yeah, cool surround on the front entrance. More stained glass. But yeah, church is one of two African-American Baptist congregations in Ashland. The first church on the site was a wooden structure dedicated in 1878. The present sanctuary was built in the 1890s. And in the 1970s, when additions were made, the sanctuary was sheathed in brick. Oh, all right, so Shiloh Baptist Church, right here it's saying 1866. So maybe it was at a different location, because it says this structure was dedicated 1878, but and yeah, you can see how much I've been sweating. Oh, and another little tidbit of information involving Ashland. It was featured in the documentary Store Wars. It came out in 2001. And it was about how Walmart was taking over all these small towns, all the local businesses drying up, all these strip malls closing down and being abandoned. So you can find it on YouTube if you want to check it out. The Herald Progress. And yeah, I forgot the farmers market is today. All right, so in memory of Laura Jones. And another train going by. Okay, so there's an Amtrak. Across the way, we've got an old caboose, and we've got the Ashland History Museum here to the left. Oh yeah, here it is, Ashland Museum. Like I said, I've got a video on this. I'll link it at the end. And is this Secretariat's flag? It's like a racehorse flag. But yeah, we've got this big caboose right here off the C&O. Take a quick look at this mural. Ashland's Secret Treasure. That wraps up my walking tour of historic Ashland. Cool town. Gonna hit the road. As always, guys, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.